Imagine this, a bright summer afternoon in Italy, 1911. 100 well-dressed passengers board a train in Rome, excited for a scenic excursion through the Italian countryside. The air is filled with chatter, the scent of cigars, and the promise of a pleasant journey to L'Aquila. The train rolls out of the station, steam hissing into the clear sky. But when it enters a tunnel in Lombardy, it never comes out again. No wreckage, no smoke, no bodies, nothing. What happened to the Zanetti train that day has puzzled historians, investigators, and conspiracy theorists for more than a century. Some claim it was a tragic accident, others insist it was a government cover-up, and a few believe something far stranger, that the train vanished into another dimension or another time. This is the haunting story of the Zanetti Train Mystery.
The train belonged to the Zanetti Company, a respected railway operator in early 20th century Italy. It wasn't a massive locomotive, but a well-appointed excursion train designed for comfort rather than speed. The carriages gleamed with polished brass, velvet seating, and wooden paneling. On board were about 100 passengers, wealthy businessmen, families with children, curious travelers, and even a few clergy members. Many were eager to see the rolling hills and vineyards of central Italy. The atmosphere was lighthearted, almost festive. Conductor Enrico Rossi made his final checks, punching tickets and exchanging pleasantries. No one suspected that they were stepping into what would become one of the most bizarre disappearances in railway history. The train departed Rome around midday, its steam whistle echoing through the city. Witnesses later recalled how beautiful the train looked as it moved through the countryside, smoke curling into the summer sky. The passengers reportedly enjoyed a smooth ride as the Zanetti train made its way northward. Some played cards, others sang songs, while the children pressed their faces against the glass to watch fields and mountains pass by. Then, as the train approached Lombardy, the track led into a long mountain tunnel, one that had been in use for years without incident. Railway workers saw the train enter, but it never came out the other side. According to the official record, 2 railway employees stationed near the tunnel swore that they saw the Zanetti train enter, but after several minutes, there was only silence. No vibrations, no sound of wheels on steel, no whistle. Alarmed, workers ran to the other end of the tunnel, expecting to see the train emerge in a cloud of steam. Nothing. The track was empty. At first, officials thought there must have been a rock slide, or perhaps the train had derailed and was trapped inside. Rescue crews rushed to the site with lanterns and equipment. They searched the entire length of the tunnel. There was no wreckage, no twisted metal, no burnt wood, no bodies. It was as if the Zanetti train had simply dissolved into thin air. Faced with growing panic, Italian authorities issued a statement. They claimed the train had suffered a catastrophic accident inside the tunnel, possibly an explosion or fire, and that conditions made recovery of remains impossible. But survivors' families were outraged. There were no signs of an explosion, no scorched rock, no smoke damage, no charred remains. Not a single bolt or scrap of wood was ever found. For many, the official version felt like a cover-up. Over the years, bizarre testimonies began to surface. 2 women living near the area claimed they heard screams echoing from the tunnel the night of the disappearance. A farmer swore he saw a rolling cloud of smoke emerge briefly from the tunnel entrance before vanishing into the air. Most chilling of all was a monk who later said he witnessed a ghostly version of the train racing across the countryside weeks later, silent, translucent, with pale figures inside. His story was dismissed as superstition, but it spread quickly. Decades later, the legend of the Zanetti train took a new twist. In Mexico, a group of doctors reported treating a small group of Italian men in the 1950s who claimed to have been passengers on a train in 1911. Their clothes were outdated, and they were confused about the date. Were these men truly survivors, or was it a case of mistaken identity? Skeptics dismissed the story, but for believers, it was proof. The Zanetti train had somehow traveled through time.
Some theories suggest the train slipped into a rift between dimensions inside the tunnel. Others propose that a magnetic anomaly or geological event could have swallowed the train, much like the legends of the Bermuda Triangle. Over a century later, the disappearance remains unexplained. Among the theories are government cover-up. Some believe the train was carrying secret cargo or political figures, and its disappearance was staged. Tunnel collapse. Perhaps the train was buried deep underground, though no geological evidence supports this. Mass hallucination. A wild theory claims witnesses never saw the train at all, but were tricked by false reports. Supernatural forces. The most popular belief that the Zanetti train passed into another time, another dimension, or another reality altogether. Today, the Zanetti train is often mentioned in books of unsolved mysteries and paranormal phenomena. It has become a ghost story told to children, a cautionary tale about the unknown, and a favorite subject for conspiracy theorists. The truth, however, is far more unsettling. No one knows what happened. A train with 100 passengers left Rome in 1911. It entered a tunnel in Lombardy, and it never came out. Was it an accident? A government secret? A tear in the fabric of time? We may never have the answers. And that, my friends, is the chilling story of the Zanetti Train Mystery, a case that still defies logic, science, and explanation. What do you think happened inside that tunnel in 1911? Was it a tragic disaster covered up by the authorities, or did the train really vanish into another time? Let me know your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries from around the world. Because sometimes the strangest stories are the ones we can't explain.